This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
Shikhar sir, I have one more question. Where the most of the transformation done, when we consider with respect to Informatica, we do have CD1, 2, and 3, and different types of SCDs, and also we have very comfortable transformation to make those changes or capture the changes. Where exactly Informatica employ these transformations?
Yeah. Good question. I'll answer that at the end of the class. We'll talk about it. I'll explain you how do you
Sure,
use that and all this stuff. Okay. Hold on.
sure. Thank you.
No. Don't. Okay. So I guess you guys know what a JSON is, right? Do I have to show you how a JSON thing works, right?
Yeah, Shekhar sir, give us a little background. I'm totally unaware about Jason.
Okay. So JSON is the abbreviation is right. Java's I forgot the abbreviation. Sorry, Java string object notation or something. Java. One second. Let me. Java string object notation. I think. JavaScript. Sorry, JavaScript object notation. So JSON is something like a key value pair where you can have a particular key and the value, or they call it as tag and a value, or tag and a value or key and a value. Okay, you can have the entire set of data which describes about itself. If you look at this file, right, what do you incur from looking at the contents of this data? So by looking at the file itself, you can know what kind of data set it is, and is it do you have an array in it, or you have a JSON inside an array, or what are the values that you are trying to populate? And there is some schema for it. Schema means this particular JSON should look like. You have these are the columns that you will have. These are the nested columns that you have. So there are multiple ways that you can generate this. JSON is a big ocean. How your JSON file should be, it depends on how you.
Shekhar sir, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah.
No, we don't
No,
see
Shekhar, we are
screen.
not seeing anything.
uh, about now.
Yeah,
Now we can see.
Sorry guys. Yeah. Can you see this now?
Yeah, please go ahead,
yeah,
Shekhar.
we can.
Now we can see.
If by looking at this content, right, what do you infer? Sorry, what do you infer by looking at this content? What kind of data is it?
It's a kind of key value pair, like how that
Yeah.
map
Mhm.
produce data, key
Yes.
and value.
Yes, that is true. And what kind of data is it?
It's the sales data, the department sales, job,
Mhm.
employee details.
Yeah. So by looking at the file and looking at the contents, you can identify what kind of data set is it. And then if you, okay, I'll show you I should not show this, but I'm showing you. This is my file that I have in my production environment. And I have about 3,356 lines of data. This is very minimal because lot of data is not there. And whenever you load your JSON, right, you can have a Notepad plus plus. You can have a plugin JSON viewer or JSON formatter. Okay. So if you have that, right, then it's much more easier for you to handle. Okay. What do you infer from this particular thing? By looking at this data set, right? What do you think?
Yes, this is the sender is the tag that's having application did I mean name corresponding values, like order data is
Mm-hmm.
also one of the tag.
Mm-hmm.
Is,
Okay.
is it is it showing something hierarchical data?
Yes, hierarchical. Yeah, you can have an hierarchical data as well. But when you look at this, right, what is this particular JSON data is the contents of the data. What is the main content of the data?
What I see is a different structure. I mean, see different structure, and they are repeating structures.
Okay, fine, that is also true. What is the content of this data?
It has a key and
Mm,
respected value for that particular
No,
segment.
you are talking about the metadata of the JSON. It is a hierarchical format. It has here arrays in it. It has values in it. But what is the? Okay, one second. Let me show you. Today somehow my system is little slow. Hmm, Let me change my Wi-Fi, guys. Hold on one second, please. You might, guys, can hear me?
yes, Shaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Select star from EMP. So you are telling me like this is a structured format. It has rows and lines and all this stuff. What is the content of this? What kind of data is present in this particular thing? So what is the data set that you are looking at here?
This is the employee details,
Yeah,
Shaker.
employee details. That means you have all the employee stuff. If you come here,
Yep.
what is the data set that you are looking at?
Yeah, order data, order
Yeah,
details.
yes. That's what I was trying to infer from you. Okay, so this is all the order details. So every JSON has a meaningful data set that that gets transformed. So each JSON data can have a different metadata. Metadata meaning it is kind of, if you look at this, right, this is an employee data set, right? Where is this? Where did I? So this is the employee details. It has all the employee data set and it has employees in it. Okay, and what department they are working on. So this is simple JSON. So each JSON can have some content that makes sense, that you can, by looking at the data you can understand what kind of content is it, and the format of the JSON can be of different types. So now I have multiple formats for you to get. So one second, employee sales JSON, right? This is another JSON which has different categories and transport. So this is much more complex. You have an array and you have a JSON inside an array and you have an array again and you have an array again. There are many things, many complex things. Okay. So I have 5 to 6 different models with me, JSON models, which that we'll go through. And this is an IoT data. IoT is like a sensor data that's being transmitted, and these are all the values. You cannot infer anything unless until somebody tells you what kind of data is it. So they are trying to capture the values of this ACHD, ACV, DCA. We don't have any meaning for it, but the sensor that is spitting out this particular data set, and then once you transform, they receive the data, and then whoever is receiving the data, they might make some cells like there might be a temperature, it might be sulfur, multiple things. I don't know. So this is one of the IoT data kind of thing. How this is the server, these are the events, how much stuff data is being spit and all this stuff. Okay. So these are the things that we are gonna see. But mainly what you have to look at is right. Or okay. So if you see here, right, the JSON starts with a flower bracket, or JSON can start with a array like this. Okay. So how many values are there in the array if you start like this? How many elements are there in the array? One second, guys. I don't want all this crap here. Yeah. If you look at this, right? Oh, this is JSON that we have generated. No. Okay. So how many elements are this in this particular array? If you look at this, right? Whenever you see a square bracket, that is an array. An array can have elements inside it. So how many elements you see in this employee details array?
3,
No, only two, right? One
one,
and two.
yeah, employed.
Yeah, so the flower bracket opening and closing is one. That means you can have a element which is of type JSON again. So this is also a JSON. If you look at independently, this is a JSON again, which has a key value pair. And there is another thing. So the arrays can be of different type. You can have only one single value key value pair, or you can have a JSON like this. Okay, there are many such ways that you can represent your data. Okay. So if you look at this, right, if you have something like this, you have an array and the array has only one single value. If you have something like this, if the JSON comes to you like this, there is an array, and how many values are there? How many elements are there in this array? When you see an array in the outer square brackets, right? Square bracket and square bracket close. How many
Only
elements
one.
are here? Only one. Yes. And how many do you see here? You see two here. So this is how you can see, or you can direct you might not have this, and then so this is another thing. Or sometimes whenever they give you, right, you will have something like order. What is happening? I'm not sure why I'm not able to see these contents. How do I change this, guys? Okay, let's say order data. You might get something like this. So that means the order, sorry, employee data, right? There is you can have a tag for this entire JSON. That is, this is about employee data. This is about order data. If you looked at this particular thing, right? When we not this one. See the order data double quotes and starts this particular. That means this particular JSON houses all the order data. You can have a title kind of thing. So this also helps you. So you can have something like this. Okay. If you look at this particular thing, it starts with a flower bracket, ends with a flower bracket, and this also starts with a flower bracket, and then this JSON inside a JSON. You can have this is the main content of this. I have an order data which has header data, lines data, party accounts, and this is the metadata of the JSON. That means I'm also capturing who is sending what kind of data set, what date it is. This is some metadata information, and it says sender. The title of this is sender. The title of this is order date. The title of this is header. Title of a particular JSON, whatever the data it's. So there are many ways that you can see. So let's go and then see how we can load the data into JSON, into Snowflake, and how do we extract and all this stuff. Okay, and this is one of the complex sessions that you're gonna learn in the entire program. This is a little complex because you might not be familiar with JSON or the models that you are trying to extract and load data into a table. They might be of different types, which might be very confusing to you. So I'll try to present you the best manner way so that you can learn it easily. Got it? So when you this is an example of an IoT data that I have given sample of it, but this also I have shown you that. Forget about this. So whenever you're trying to create a semi-structured format, so if you want to store semi-structured format in your Snowflake, right, there is a different data type called variant. So you have to use a data type called variant and store your data structure. Okay, if you have a timestamp, and how do you store the timestamps in a table? You have a data type called timestamp. If it's a number, date, varchar or string. Similarly, if you want to have the entire semi-structure, there is another thing. Maybe you might have heard about clubs or lobs in the database environment, right? Where blob is a binary large object, lob large object, club character large object. So these are some of the data types that have been there in the databases. In Snowflake, similar to that, there is another thing called variant, and this variant data type, it can hold 16 MB of data in one single row. So if you go and look at this particular table, right? Select star from, okay. You see this J line item. How many records are there? 59 billion. Okay. Select star from this particular thing. I'll say limit 10. See, these are all JSONs. J is for JSON, the notation that they use. Okay. If you look at this, right, each line, and then if you go and then describe this table, right? Can you see this line item variant? Only one particular column. So something like select get DDL table, comma. So shared database you cannot, because it's all secure, right? You cannot do that. If you create a table something similar to this in your schema, then it will give you create or replace table J line item like. Okay, now I have created a table similar to this particular one, and I'm gonna get the DDL of it. So if you look at it, right, create a replace table JLine item, line item, variant, only one particular thing, and this variant can house all your semi-structure formats. You can have JSON, XML, Parky, ORC, everything into this particular variant. You can load them into this particular variant data type. Okay, so we'll see how we can load the data and all this stuff. So now you pretty much understood. If you want to store a semi-structured format in a table, what is the data that we use?
Variant.
Variant.
Variant is a data type. Okay, so now, and the other part of it, right? So now you can load the JSON data like the way that you have loaded your CSV. You can load your JSON data as well into Snowflake. And the only part of it, right, in this structured format, when you go and query from the table, it's all like rows and columns to you. You are used to it. This is how the data is. For JSON, when you load the data, you can extract it as rows and columns as well, to make it much more easier for you to read and all this stuff. Okay, so that is the end goal. Normally, whenever you load your JSON, right, you extract the JSON and present it in such a way that you can represent them as rows and columns. That becomes much more easier for you to look and understand the data. Okay, so let's go and load some JSONs and see how that can be done. So we'll take this simple example. So I have 5 to 6 different models, and then if we can do all these 5 different JSON models, right, you should be good enough to handle any complex JSON that are coming to you in your work environment. Okay, and I'm talking about this particular JSON. Edit. Okay, somehow I'm not able to write or do anything. Whenever I do, right, plugin. No, anyway, so I have this file emp.json. So let's get this particular thing into our Snowflake for analyzation, for extraction and all this stuff. No SQL -c def. So if you are trying to use a JSON format, right, what is your file format type?
JSON.
Hmm, JSON, yes. So let me go ahead and then I have loaded it, right? So show file formats. Do I have a JSON file format here? I'm not sure. Hold on 1 second.
Is there some type is JSON is there?
My JSON is there.
Okay, my JSON, it was there in the end.
Yeah, it was there.
My test format, my JSON format, yeah. So you can filter like this as well. So my JSON format, there are two of them. So let's look at describe file format, my JSON format. So these are all the file formats, the formatting options of JSON. So the important thing is extension, that's JSON. By default values CSV, we just created a JSON. Date, time, format, 1 second, compression. So some of the important parts of it: allow duplicate, strip outer array, strip null values. Okay, these are the three important things. Strip outer array is very important for you. Okay, apart from that, you can just create, and this is by default. Create or replace my JSON format, type is equal to JSON. This is what I have done, and then okay, my JSON format. If you describe the same thing, it shows you the same thing. File JSON and all this. So now, how do we load the data into Snowflake? I have a emp.json file. emp.json. How do we load this?
We need to create the stage object.
I do have a stage
Yeah,
object.
yeah, yeah.
Let's
Then we need to place that file
show
into
stage.
stage.
Yes, show stages, right? And then create my temp stage. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Put file.
The file location,
Yeah.
then give to that stage place.
Yes, emp.json at the rate of my temp stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we need to check the target table whether it is created or not.
Yes. So now we'll create a target table, and we'll do the other parts of it. Before that, we can extract the data, look at the data in the staging area as well, right? We can see the contents of it. We can transform the data in the staging area as well. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So how do I query and see this particular data?
Um, Generally, right, select dollar one, dollar one, dollar two, and so on. Like
From
from EMP at the rate stage, my
yeah.
temp stage.
So you might see these pipe symbols, right? Sometimes whenever you load, I'm not sure this is formatting. Normally, it should not be the case. And then dollar one, dollar two, dollar three. Here, whenever you loaded a semi-structured data, right? It doesn't have dollar two, dollar three. The entire thing is in dollar one only. If it's a structured format, then it makes sense for dollar one, dollar two, dollar three. But the semi-structured, the entire JSON goes and sits in dollar one only. Am I able
This
to?
this case, you could give the only dollar one. It will be written the same result.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now our job is to read the data from this particular thing. So, and if I want to read it with JSON format, how do we write it? File underscore format. This is typical. File underscore format equal to greater than symbol my JSON format. See, now you got the data. But if you look at it, right, my file, the department details are in the top, and then when I query it, the department details on the bottom and the arrays on the top. So even so, order does not matter with JSON. If remember that. Okay. So there is no $2 or $3 if you use the same thing, right? $2 or $3 will be empty or null. Can you see this? JSON file format can produce one and only one column of type variant or object or array. Use CSV file format if you are trying to use more than one. Whenever you started using the file format, it throws you an error. So we want to have only tolerable. So now let's go and extract the data so that we can see this in a tabular format. Okay. Can you see this? $1:deep. Here, whenever you are trying to extract data, right? Column, val, the tag, whatever the column that you are trying to use from the table or that you are trying to use from your stage environment. So what is the column here? What is the name of the column here?
The department number.
No, department number is the tag.
Yeah.
Is the tag or key, but
Yeah.
the
Key.
column is $1. $1 is guys,
Dollar one is the
column name, because we
column.
are trying to, yeah, column name, right? We are trying to read from the stage. There is no specific column name, so we are representing it as $1. The $1 is the column name, right?
Yes.
And one more humble request, guys, you have to talk to me through the entire session. This is a little complex. Unless until you talk to me, then only I can understand that you have digested it. Or if you keep on talking to me, right, you will also get, and you will also follow through easily. So don't feel shy. Please talk to me in this particular session, especially Jason. If it's something else, I don't mind. You can happily talk to me or not. But this particular part of it, please try to be interactive so that you also learn little more faster. Are you able to follow me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, please. And then, so I have $1 department number. So if you look at this particular employee, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 elements in this JSON. That means there are 5 key value pairs or 5 tag and value pairs. So the department name, department number, department location state, employee details. Whether it's an array or only a plain text is a different thing. But how many of them do you have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 elements of this particular Snowflake JSON. Am I correct?
Yeah. Fine, man.
Right? So
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
goal is to extract all these 5 of them in a tabular format. So if I said, and the whenever you're trying to load data into a table, what is the syntax of the copy command?
Mm.
Copy into
Copy
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 into
to table from
table
stage.
from stage. So that is
Stage.
what here when you are trying to extract the data, you have to say column colon tag, column column key. So you have to remember this whenever you want to extract something from JSON, right? Column column colon key. That you remember, that becomes easier for you to whenever you are trying to write your SQL statement. So I can say $1 colon and you have to be very specific. This is case sensitive because you have seen the department number, right? If I go and write department number like this, it doesn't work. It just shows null because it doesn't understand. So JSON, whenever you're trying to extract values from the JSON, the tag values are always case sensitive, or the key values are always case sensitive. It has to be exactly the way it is represented inside the JSON. You have to remember that. Okay. And what is the next column that we want to extract? We got
Get
department
name.
name. Yeah. So DEPT, and you have an
DEPT
uppercase. Yeah.
yeah, DEPT location.
$1 : DEPT location.
DEPT location state.
Yeah. $1 : DEPT L1.
Yeah,
Yeah, state.
state.
And what the other one that we have? Employee details. Right? We have
Yeah,
department name, department number, location, state, and employee. But these are all key value pairs, but this is only an array. But still, this is an element, right? You have to
yeah,
write like this. $1 : employee. What is the syntax of it? You don't need. Okay. Were we able to extract the data now?
Yeah.
Is now in a tabular format, right? But we have an array and we have to extract the array again. There is a way of extracting the array. I'll tell you or teach you so that we can still extract it. But whenever you extract this array, right, what happens to these values? They get repeated. Am I correct? This particular line gets repeated because if you have two values here, then it repeats two times. 10 sales department. That means this employee, if you look at the data, I have a department 10 which has two employees. Whenever you convert them into tabular format, then you'll have these two records with two employees. Am I correct?
yeah,
Okay. Now I see for a number double quotes. I see for a character double quotes. And whenever we are trying to load this data into a table, right? Do we need double quotes there? No need, right? So we have to cast it as a number or a character. Why is my department location not showing? It shows null.
Uh, Shekhar, Shekhar sir, you told there are two department number, but how do we identify there are two departments here in the file?
No, no, no. What I told you. Why is my location stage? It should be state, right? Yeah. Oh, hold on one second. I'll answer you.
Sure.
Okay. Now, how many employees are there in department number 10? Let's go and look at this. How
two,
many employees are there in department 10? Two
Okay.
employees. So,
Two employees.
yeah, if you go and look at query the table employee select star from EMP where department number is equal to 10, there you have only one column called department. Here we have details about the department as well. So whenever you join two tables, department table and department employee table, and you are trying to get all the details for department number 10 with the location and then the department name and location will repeat for each and every employee. Am I correct?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. So for this particular set, this will be the header. I mean header for that particular department. These are the records, right?
Yes, that is true.
Oh,
Yes. Okay.
okay.
Your understanding is correct. Now, if I want to take out these quotes, because I cannot insert quotes into a table, right? I can cast it, typecast it, like colon colon int. And if I want to have an alias, I can have an alias, ept no. And then let me format it properly. Okay, department number, department name is string, right? You can write string, or you can write varchar as well. It's up to you. Okay, and this one string as I'll say location, dpt department name. Okay, and then state, I'll just say state. empdtls from this particular thing. See, okay. So do you see double quotes now here? No, right? 10 sales department k, everything is clean and neat, as if you have, if you want to load it into a table, you can happily load that content of a table. Now the next target for us is, right, to extract the employee details. Employee details is an array. So to extract an array, Snowflake has given a function called a lateral flatten. You have to flatten this array and then extract it. Okay, so there is some syntax that you have to learn, and this is how it is. Okay, and whenever you're trying to extract an array, first this is how lateral flatten, and then I forgot the syntax. One second, guys. Long back. It is, yeah, lateral flatten, and then column name. One second, $1, and no. Mm, yeah, input. This is a keyword. Lateral flatten, input, and name of the array. So it has to be like another table kind of thing. So file format until here, and then lateral flatten input. So what is the input that you have to give? The array name, whichever array that you want to flatten, that array name. Where is the array? This is how the array is. First try to
Template
extract,
details.
yeah, and you have to, because this itself becomes a table, because there is some JSON data inside, right? Like how you are trying to get it from the JSON, this is also a JSON kind of thing. You have to create, pass this array name to a lateral flatten function, and then you have to alias. Okay, I'll say emp. This is for the emp details, right? What is wrong with this? Syntax error at position 8.
Both you have mentioned, sir. Alias as well as
No, that should, yeah, this. Okay. Now, this lateral flatten will have a column name called $1, and this particular thing is also having a because we are now reading from a stage. When you are trying to read from the stage, when you want to extract these values, right, these values will also have a column name by default $1. So it says this $1 I am not able to identify this particular $1, which particular alias table I am trying to get from. So if you look at this, right, this particular $1 that we have used, and it is getting confused. Is this $1 from this particular MyTerm stage EMP JSON, or is it from lateral flatten? So this EMP, is it from this EMP or from this particular JSON? So you have to go and then change. I'm gonna give an alias like this. This is for the DEPT, right? Because we have all the department details. I'll say DEPT dot $1. So how do you refer the alias? Tab alias dot column name, right? So select start from EMP E, where E dot EMP NO is equal to so and so. So when you are trying to refer to a particular column, when you have given an alias, how do you refer that? Alias dot column name. Am I correct?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. If I go run this now, right? See now how many records do we see here? So we have already given a flatten, and then when you join with this EMP, now there are two records in this. That is the reason you are, but we did not extract this one yet. But it identified in this input by using this passing the array. It thinks that there are two records, so there are two repeated things: 10 sales Bangalore KA, and then this one. This one. Now let's go and then extract the values. Okay. We don't need the employee details because it's a repeating thing. We have written it so that that is also an element, and then we copied that element. We want to flatten this out now. So, and what are the elements in this particular JSON? Employee number, e-name, job, hire date. So whenever you're trying to read from a lateral flatten function, the default name of the column. So this is if you think this is a table, right? And this table should have a column name. That means employee. If you think this function is a table function, whenever you are trying to, so whenever you're trying to read from result scan, right? I have shown you the result scan function, table of result scan. And if you want to extract the column name, the table function always has the column names. The column name of this table function is called value, VALUE, value. You have to remember that. So whenever you're trying to, guys, are you able to follow me?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Shagar. Yes.
Select star from EMP, right? This is a table. If I say select star from table of result scan, and then -1, and if I want to read only department number is equal to 10, what should I write here? If I want to filter from this result set only department number 10,
Where department
where
department
the
detail.
PTNO, you have to put it in quotes, and similar to the structure. equal to 10. Meaning this function, whenever you're trying to read from this function, this function is returning you a value, column value, and that particular column value is department number 10. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Show tables. And if I want to filter the data, if I just want to see only table name emp, and if I want to write my query, right, how do I write that? I can read from the results. This I'm sorry, result scan is nothing but reading from the results, and the results has the column names associated with it. If I want to get only the employee table, what should be my filter condition here?
Equal to employee.
Sorry, where?
Name equal to employee. Column name
Yeah,
equal to name. Name equal
yes.
to employee.
That means this table function you are trying to read from the results, and this table function by default gives you the names of the columns, and the name you are filtering by using the name of the column. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Similarly, when you call this lateral flatten function, the default column name that it gives out is value. Okay, so emp dot value colon and then emp and colon int emp and can you see now? Now it flattened the array. We have two values in this, and it had extended 7782 7394. Right? Are you able to follow me? So this
Okay.
lateral flatten function gives you a particular column name called value. So if you think this is a table, this table has only one single column which gives, and the name of the column is value. So whenever we are trying to extract from JSON, what is the song that we have heard? Column colon key, and the column for this lateral flatten is value colon what is the key that you are trying to extract. The array part of it, empnvo. Are we clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
my temp stage emp json, this doesn't have a column name, so we use $1, and for the array part of it we are trying to flatten the array, and to flatten the array we have passed the array name to a function which in turn returns a value called column called value. So the whenever you're trying to extract the json, you have to extract like this, right? Column colon key, and the column for this particular lateral flatten is value value colon what is the key? Employee number. Okay, and then if I want to extract employee name, what should I write it? I write here. I
emp
want to
dot
extract
value. Emp dot
emp
value
dot
dot ename.
value ename
Ename varchar.
string
Must.
worker ename. Okay, and if I want to write extract the value of hire date, emp
P dot
dot
value
value
dot
colon
hire date
hire date colon
equal to
date
date.
is hire date, and the last one is job. Emp dot value dot sorry colon job colon string job. Now we got the data.
Yeah.
So, and create or replace view emp dept and scovy as select. I have created a view out of the select statement. I can just say select star from emp underscore dept underscore v. Okay, we can save this SQL and then we can create a view on top of it. You can, or for example, if you have a table called department, and if you want to extract the data from the JSON and load it into the table, for example, describe table DEPT, right? We have department number, department name, and location. We have department number, department name, and location. Ignore the state part of it. Think that you want to load this data into a table. Create a replace table DEPT underscore temp, for example, like DEPT. So if I want to extract the data from JSON and load it into a department table, how can I do that? I have already created a department view, right? Select star from DEPT emp DEPT view. Okay, I can say select DEPT NO, comma DEPT name, comma location from emp underscore DEPT underscore v, right? And I get two values which are I want to have a distinct here. Insert into department temp, select star from DEPT temp. Did we extract from JSON and load it into table, right? So the use case in your real world might be right. You have to extract a JSON and load it into a table, or you can have to create a view on top of it and use wherever needed, right? Are we
So
clear?
basically, flatten function transposes into one hierarchy to different hierarchy.
It basically flattens and makes it as a tabular format. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. And if I don't want to create a view, but I want to insert the data into a table, how can I do that?
Insert,
Because I know I have only department columns, I'll go until here.
then remove that view.
So I'm getting a duplicate values, so I have to use distinct. Okay, insert into
Your
what is
target
that?
table.
Yeah, DEPT temp.
Yes.
But is this the nice way of doing things? If your
Yeah.
JSON has thousands of records, millions of records, how do you load them? Copy into dept underscore temp from we are using simple select statements only. So there is some challenge here. Stage statements for import. So when you are trying to use lateral flatten, right, it's not able to understand. So what you have to do is, right, you just have to dump the entire JSON into a table, and then you have to do these transformations from the table. So it's not able to. If it is a simple thing, lateral flatten, I don't need a lateral flatten here, I think. See, one row loaded. So it was not able to end for the lateral flatten because it's not part of. So there are some limitations when you're trying to transform and load it into stage. So you can do this as well. If you have 100k records in the table, you can happily extract the data and use the copy command, so that whenever you run the copy command, you have parallelism, which helps you to load your data pretty fast. This is how we can load the data. Are we clear?
Yeah.
I need a yeah from everybody, guys, please, because if it's kind of a little complex, I know, confusing for you if you're not familiar with the JSON file formats and everything, but I I did the best to make sure that he can digest this particular thing. So, are we all good?
Yes, Shekhar. We are on board now.
Okay. Right then. So now let's go and extract the next little more complex one. Okay. Where is this IoT data? Okay. Now let's do one more thing. So now we know how to extract it from the stage, right? Let's push it into a table, and then we will see how we can extract from a table. So I'm gonna create a table, create or replace table emp JSON, right? Okay. And then if I want to load this data into this table, how do I do that? Copy into emp underscore JSON from
This stage slash emp JSON says
the file underscore format is equal to my,
JSON.
right? I have loaded this data into a table. I can just say select star from emp underscore JSON. See, now I have the data loaded into this particular table. Now I want to extract this to create a view. We have created a view, right? How do we extract this from the table? Yeah. So if you look at this, right? Yeah, select statement, right? Now, what is the table? So we don't need this staging and all this stuff, right? File format, because we have already loaded using the file format. Snowflake knows this what kind of file format is it. So what is the table that we are trying to read this from emp underscore
JSON.
JSON, right? I'll just name it as DEP because it has E. It has both the data, the EMP and DEPT, right? We'll just use the same alias. And instead of DEPT dot, what what is the column name here in our table?
$1.
No, $1 is from stage. Now you have already loaded the data into your table, right? Describe table emp underscore JSON. So the column name is emp DEPT. So okay, and this emp values and everything letter fraction pattern is fine. But when you're trying to pass the column name, right? Now instead of one, we have to say okay. It's here instead of $1, we'll be typing what happened. Okay, emp underscore DEPT. Just you have to replace the $1 with the column name. That's it. Because we are reading from a table, and the table has a column name, and you column dot key. Instead of $1, the column name is emp underscore DEPT colon key, column colon key. Are we good? So that was from a stage we didn't know the name of the column. That is the reason we have used $1. Here we have already stored into a table, and we know the column of that particular thing. So we are able to extract this. Are we good? Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah, Shekhar, we are.
Okay. So now let's go and see the J customer, right? Instead of this particular thing, we'll go and then the customer. There is a thing called J customer. Okay. Limit 10. I have this many. Okay. This is the JSON that we have in this particular thing. Okay. So if I have a file like this, I have already loaded the data into a table. Now, if I want to extract this, right? How can I extract this? Can you guys tell me how to extract this in a tabular format from this particular table? Select. Yeah, you have to guide me. This is the JSON that we have already loaded into the table. So I want to extract these details from this particular table. And what is the name of the table? J customer. Okay. How do I write the extraction here? Okay, this is my JSON. I'll put the JSON here. Okay, for your purposes. Now I have to write the select statement, meaning I want to extract the JSON out of this table. So how do I do that? Select. I'll give a cust is the alias. Now you guys have to tell me how to extract this particular JSON. So what is the first column that we see in the JSON?
Is
First
first
dot.
Account balance. Cust
See
dot
account
account
balance.
balance.
Yes. So column
Cust.
colon key, right? So
Yeah.
what is the column here for us? Cust.
Cust.
C
Okay.
account balance.
1 second. What is the column name? Customer is the column name. So cust is an alias. Cust dot. What is the name of the column? The name of the column is customer.
customer
Yeah. Customer and then
uh,
Colon.
cust account first column.
yeah. What should I type here? Just first account or how is it?
Colon. C account balance.
Yes. And account balance is a number, right? I'll just say limit 10 because it's a huge table, right? See, and this is a decimal. You can use colon float, right? 71.56, and it's a big, so you can say
First ID.
account bal. See now account balance populated here. And what is the next one that we have to extract here? Next column.
Customer
How do we
address.
First
cust
one.
dot customer colon cust address colon string. I'll just say address. See, you got the address here. So now, so this is plain and simple. You don't have any nested. Nested means arrays inside an array, and everything is not there. So it's plain and simple. You can easily extract. Now you're comfortable with plain JSON extract, right?
Yes.
Yes, you have to talk to me, please. Okay. Now let's go and then extract another one. Okay, this is little complex. Let's see IoT. Where is IoT? Yeah. So this is the IoT. So now let's load this IoT data and then extract this. Okay. So how many elements do we have in IoT? Top level.
Three.
Oh,
Two.
3. So yeah, one is
3.
an array. This is also an element. This is also an element. This and that. We have 3 top level elements. Under these events, you might have many other. So if you write, there are two elements in this particular thing. And in this particular JSON, you might have something else. This is another one. So it's a hierarchical way, right? So you always look at the top level part of it, extract the top level, and then if it's an array, flatten the array, and then keep on going until you go to the last level to extract it as a tabular form. Okay. So now I have iot.json. You guys have to guide me how to extract this and then write the program. Okay. So how do I load this data into a table? What is the first thing what we have to do? We have to create a table. Forget about stage because I have shown you how to extract in stage. Now you are familiar. Instead of column name, we'll be using $1 here. Apart from that, nothing else. Okay. Now I have this. So what are the steps? Now I have a JSON file and I want to extract the JSON file. What are the steps involved in this?
First create a table.
Create a
create
table with the variant.
yes, create replace table. I'll say IoT data, right? And then data, I'll just say yes data. Yes data means sensor data, something like that. Variant. Okay. Now table is created. What is the next step?
Copy the stage into table.
If you want to copy that, right, we have to put the data into file, the stage, right? Put file
Yes.
colon slash slash iot.json, right? Okay. Where do we have to put this? At the rate of my term stage.
My God.
Okay. Now I have put. Then what is the next step?
Bring the
We
stage into table.
Sorry.
Need to
we
copy
need
it
to
to table.
Yeah. Copy into what is the table name? IoT data. From what is the table name? Sorry, the file name at the rate of
My
my
time stage.
yes slash iot.json.gz file underscore format my JSON format. Okay, now how if you see right, how many records got loaded here?
Only one.
So only one means the entire JSON is treated as one single record, right? And
yeah.
one single record, when you query this table, it will have the entire JSON. And this size of the JSON that you are trying to load into a table, if you are trying to load as one single row, it cannot be more than 16 MB. The size of the EMP data or IoT JSON that we are trying to load cannot be more than 16 MB. That is the limitation.
Okay.
Okay. And if you look at this particular table, Snowflake, this one, right? Meaning the JSON that you are loading, this cannot be more than 16 MB. You understood, right?
So each record it should not be 16 MB, right?
Yes. Each record cannot be more than 16 MB. That is the limitation with Snowflake. Got it? So let's now we have already loaded this particular table, right? Now say let's select star from IoT data. I have all these values here. So now if I want to extract this, right? How do I write the SQL statement? Select and then so what are the three top level elements that we have in this
Device
file?
type,
Event version.
And then version, right? So how do we write here? Select.
column name, yeah,
What is
column name.
And
the column name is yes data. If you describe this table, right? This table IoT data, right? The column name is
Yes,
yes
data.
data. So
Yeah,
select
yes, data dot
yes data.
dot.
Yes data. What is the
Sorry,
what is the yeah
this is the double sum
colon
colon.
uh,
Then give the
and
like device type.
device underscore type colon is it string, right? String
mm,
device comma. And what is the next one? What is the next step that we have to extract here? First,
Event.
try to events. Try to write as if you are trying to extract the element. Yes, data dot sorry events. We don't, so when you're trying to convert, there is no alias for an array, right? I'll just say events, and then the third one is version. Yes, data colon version colon float, or you can just say number as well. NUMBER. I think it should work. From IoT data invalid identifier. Yes, so
Event we need to
sorry.
pass.
No. It has been as date, as data. It is a typo. If you look at it, by default I have typed date. Event we are not flattening yet. We just have trying to read from the table. That's it. See, this is how the table looks like. Because event is a big one, you will see that. Server events version. When you say number, it rounds up to the next number. Float, it exactly gives you the. Let me see. I can write number. I think integer it trims off. So it's still so. Float is the only one that you can write. Or you can like decimal as well. Decimal. No, decimal also rounds up. So float is the only one which float, and then is version, right? And events. Okay, we got the data, whatever. So what is the next step for us? We have device type, events, and version. So we have an array inside this particular thing. So what is the next step that we have to do? We have to flatten the array. How do we flatten the array? Using the function lateral flatten. Yeah, so let's go, and then so how do we write the lateral flatten? Name comma lateral flatten, and then for this the parameter that you have to pass is name of this particular array that you want to flatten. Input equal to greater than symbol, and then this particular thing. So and you have to give an alias for this events, or just type E. So why do we see two records here? Because I did not have the event element here. I have taken it out. I have just queried device type and version, but we see two records. Why is it? Whenever you are trying to join this, right? How many elements are there in an array here? We have two of them.
Two.
So that is the reason you will see whenever you join with lateral flatten, it automatically identifies the number of records and then it repeats them twice. Are we clear? Okay. Now we have to extract the value from the E, right? We have written this version in the last, and then so what are the stuff that we have to return? What is the first thing? What is the first value of the events? Is what do you see here?
Yep. Again, we see elements here in the events.
Yes, what is the element name? Name of the element or the key
F,
of the element?
F,
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 R,
R,
V.
V, T, T, and all this stuff, right? So first thing is E dot Okay, value, because column colon key, the column from E is value, colon key is F, string F. Okay, what is the next one? RV, E dot value colon F colon string, sorry, it's RV, right? And then this is T. What is the next one? V. So if you look at this, is V an array or not?
Yeah, it is.
What is events then? Is events an array or not?
Yes, necessary.
Yes, V
Events
is a
is an
typed
array,
array.
but V is not an array. V is just a tag for the JSON. I've shown you, right? Like, what is this? Where is my Opal JSON? Like, order data is a tag of the entire JSON. This is a nested JSON. JSON inside a JSON. If you look at this one, right? IoT data, where is IoT data? So this is just nothing but a tag for this entire JSON, the header of this. Are you able to follow me? So array always have a square bracket, and if you have a flower bracket, that is a nested JSON, JSON inside a JSON, and the JSON can have a tag. The entire thing have a title kind of thing, and the title of this particular thing is V. Am I correct? Yes. Are you able to follow me, please?
Yes, sir. Like events, this is also one more title. V is the title.
Yes. Events is the title for an array. V is a title for a JSON. This is a
Okay.
nested JSON, JSON inside a JSON, because whenever you see flower brackets and ends flower brackets, that is a JSON, right? You can have this like this as a separate JSON. If you think this is a separate JSON, this can be a separate JSON like this. And whenever we are trying to extract, we can extract it ACHD, ACV, whatever the column that you have loaded into colon, ACHD, ACV, DCA. That's how we can extract, right? Now, E dot value colon V. Okay, and then we have multiple values in this particular thing, right? So I'm not going to typecast it to anything. I'll just say V alias from this particular table now. Yes, data dot colon events. I forgot to give the column name. See, now I got all these values. Can you see, right? This is the server name, this is the value of F, RV. It has multiple values in a single thing, and T has some value in it, and V is a JSON. Okay, and if you want to extract the values out of a JSON, okay, then you can have like this V dot instead of colon. When you are trying to read from JSON inside a JSON, you can read like this. Come on, see, when you want to extract from a nested JSON, you have to use dot symbol. Okay,
Sir, I have a question here. So we don't have to flatten the
That's why
V of
we are not writing a lateral flatten function, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah.
If you have to flatten, you have to write a lateral flatten. Here, we are now trying to extract from a JSON, nested JSON. That means a JSON inside a JSON, and the JSON has a tag called V dot, V dot, V dot. So if you want to extract this next one, right? ACV, then V dot colon V dot ACV, ACV, comma. If it's an array, we put it as a lateral flatten. If it's a nested JSON, we just try to get the value of that particular tag of that particular JSON and then represent dot the key value parent, the header or title dot key of that particular nested JSON. Are we clear, guys? Confused?
Yes, sir.
Or are you guys okay? So whenever you're trying to extract from a particular thing, right? Try to get the title of that particular nested JSON. The title of that nested JSON is V dot this one. But how do you want to? How can you extract the V? V is but column colon key. That is the V. And if you want to extract something inside the V, if it's a nested JSON, dot key. That's what we have done, right?
So any number of nested JSON, if it is there, only one
Hmm.
time we are going to flatten. After that, we are going to get the individual elements.
Yeah, if you have nested JSONs, right? Then you are not flattening it. You are just trying to read it by the path title dot key will give you the value of that particular. If you have another JSON inside this, right? For example, after this, I'll have C colon okay. How do we extract this?
E dot V dot C.
B dot C dot
Yeah,
ABC.
perfect. Done. I don't need to teach anything JSON for you guys. You are masters in JSON now. Okay. Now we understood how to extract if it is a nested JSON. This is an array. Array is you have to use the lateral flatten function. If you're talking about the nested JSONs, just the notation title dot key dot that's it. That will give you the value. And if you have another nested JSON inside the JSON, you can title dot the next title dot key. That should give you the JSON part of it. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's pretty much now. Guys, do you want to see another? So we do have some time, 10 minutes. Is it too much for you guys?
Shekhar sir, how do we split RV here? RV because I see multiple values here.
Yeah. And how do you want to get that?
Into one value with this combination server 83
Mm-hmm.
15219.64 with all the
Mm-hmm.
common values and
Mm-hmm.
783 with all the common values. So basically, want to normalize this RV.
You have a function called split by comma. I don't remember the
Okay.
exact syntax. Okay, one second. Split part or split function. There are a couple of things. Let's see. You got whatever you want. And if you want to take the array outright, split gives you an array. There are a couple of other functions. Split part if you want to do it. So this is an array part of it. So this, and you want to take out the array, there is another thing. And you have to split array or something on top of it. I'll tell you when we connect in the evening, right? So we'll talk about it. Okay.
Okay. Shikhar sir, one more point. Like we have seen array and the inside that JSON and again beside that another JSON. So to reach the child, we need to give fully qualified path for the child.
Yeah, the notation is fully qualified path. Perfectly correct.
Okay.
Rightly termed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what in the case like array and the JSON inside the JSON, I have child JSON, and beside that, can we have array again? Okay. So here employee detail is the array.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And you have
Okay.
a
This
JSON
this
and you
covers,
have
sir.
an array, and then you have an array inside an array. I have
Yeah.
so I have to start from the least, start from the simple to the most complex one, right?
Sure, sir.
So
Sure.
I have
Sure.
all
Got it.
the exercises for you. I can make you masters in JSON. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you.
So is it overwhelming for you guys? Do you want to take a break and joining in the evening? So let's finish the other examples also evening. Or if you're okay, I can go with another example now.
Now it is good. We can go with the on evening part,
Okay.
I
Is it the
guess.
same? Yeah. Is it the same with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shikhar, we hear you.
It's evening, 5 o'clock. Guys, one more humble
No,
request.
Shekhar, at least 6 o'clock.
No, because there is somebody who is from New Zealand. You have to understand that particular.
I think he is not there.
No, I'm there. I'm there.
Guys, try to accommodate for one person. He's joining from a different country, and then we have to be accommodating, right? Please, my humble request. Even 5 o'clock is very late for him, and then that
Okay.
is the only request that I can make. I cannot see. I don't have any issue. And guys, one more humble request. I might be little late, 5-10 minutes in the morning, to the class basically, but I have too many things. See, I'm just teaching out of the passion and out of the money. There are two things. First part of it. Number two, I cannot compromise on the content that I deliver to you guys. I can challenge you that people who have, if you go and learn anywhere, I am pretty much sure 90% of the time that I have spoken to you explaining the JSON, I don't think that nobody's going to teach you the JSON like this, like a spoon feeding kind of thing. I just want to make sure, because the reason is right. You have in this particular batch varied people. You might have very senior, you might have junior, and people don't even know about JSON. Now I can see the answer. You yourself are answering the questions, means I'm very happy that you are able to digest whatever I'm giving it. For that particular thing, I'm asking you guys. There might be. I know your time is also very valuable, but I might be delayed. I wanted to be punctual, and I will be 90% of the time. But I'll give 5 to 6 minutes of time so that everybody can join whenever the class starts. Right? For example, it's 7:30. If I come on 7:30 and start teaching, right? People will join. That is the human tendency. They might take a couple of minutes to join. What I am asking you guys is, right, I might take little more time. I'll definitely be 5 to 6 minutes, if not 3 or 4 minutes late. Because reason is, right, I have my own commitments as well. I work in a company as a senior architect. I have too many issues. I have a franchisee company where I franchisee people. My the name of the franchise is called Lassi on the Go. We franchisee. I have about 30 stores in India. So we franchise them. So I have calls from that. I have a restaurant in Bangalore. I have that particular thing as well. So I manage multiple things. I should not ventured into this particular training part of it, but this teaching is my passion. So that is the reason I started teaching this. So my humble request, I might be late by a couple of minutes. So no, I know your time is much more valuable, but my request is, if I am late, you guys talk among yourselves. If you have any issues, talk among that. You try to be interactive so that you have better time. But I promise I'll be punctual, but 5 6 minutes, because I have to wait for other folks as well, right? That's what I'm talking. I'm requesting you guys. Is that fine with you guys, please?
Okay, sir. No issues.
Okay, no issues.
We
Yeah.
understand your point of view.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So how do you find this class today? Is it too complex, or is it okay, or how is it?
Interesting.
Good. And this is the only one which is very complex. All the other chapters are pretty plain and simple. So this JSON is, and then there is another one called streams. That is not as complex as this. That is about 50%, or no, not even 50, 20% of it. That's so. The only thing is, right, with JSON, you have to have your fingers on your keyboard and try to do the exercises. I'll give you a lab exercise as well as this exercise that we are doing. Right, I have JSONs ranging from simple to very complex, and then we have some performance things here as well, because we have a limitation of 16 MB per record, right? How do you have to generate the JSONs? We did not talk about JSON generation. We are now trying to extract the JSON. So we are loading the data. How do you unload using JSON? If you want to generate, so for example, if you are trying to join with three tables, employee, department, and let's take employee and department, and you have to generate one distinct value for department and then multiple values for employees, because for each department you might have 10 employees, but the department should not repeat in the JSON. How do you build that? So we're going to see that in the evening class. Okay.
Sir, I have a question, sir, before we wind up. So you told 16 MB is the maximum space it can accommodate, right? But in the live scenario, even in my current project, I'm getting the data from SQL server, where one row of JSON is having nearly, it ranges from 1 GB to 1.5 GB. If he started using Snowflake on that front,
Mhm.
I'm not sure how it is going to handle that situation. We are using Teradata now, but slowly, eventually, our organization is going to move into Snowflake. If they are
Mhm.
moving into Snowflake, how they are going to accommodate those situations? If one row of record of
No, no, no.
JSON is having
One row
2
cannot
GB.
have. Yeah, if you
Uh-huh.
have. Okay. So if one row is having 1 GB, I doubt it,
Yes, sir.
Srihavi.
Yes. No, no, I am
Then
pretty sure, sir. 1 GB. I even have the GB in terms of the database space. For
you
one
have to.
cell itself,
So
yeah.
no. Hold on one second.
Uh-huh.
16 MB meaning I can have 1 million rows inside 16 MB. Let me show you one example. I'm talking about the magnitude of size. 1 GB means maybe the design is different. If we have to break it out, there is no other
Okay.
chance. Okay. If I look at this archival part of it, right? And this is 16 MB. Am I correct?
Yes.
16415
Yes.
KB is nothing but 16 MB,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And
Yeah, correct.
16 MB. If I go and extract this, right? And I have this many columns, okay, and these many rows. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, million. 1 million records in 116 MB. Do you think 1 million is not sufficient? Is not a good amount of time that you're trying to load into one particular row?
Mm, yeah, that's true. If
You,
we take
yeah.
about the data, right? This is actual data, the value, if you call. But when
Mm-hmm,
it comes to JSON or XML, our field
mm-hmm.
is also getting repeated, where it will
Yes,
have the values. So in that
yes.
case, that this is possible to have memory increased data.
No.
It's because it's a CSV, it is only values which is holding, but when it goes to JSON, it also holds the field repetition.
Mm-hmm.
That's the where the space is getting occupied. That's what I'm
Yes.
thinking.
No, yeah, that's true. Whatever you're talking here is perfectly correct. What you have to do is right. You have to get it into stage and you have to extract one particular, because when you're talking about JSON, the repetitive is one content. That means it makes some sense. Maybe the header or the lines. For example, I have shown you a bigger JSON, right? This is lines. This lines
Yeah,
we get about 30,000, 60,000, 100,000 lines for a particular order.
yeah,
Okay. And if you look at this, expand this, right? Lines. If you look at the number of columns here,
yeah,
so it has about 300 columns, roughly around. And I have
yeah,
300 multiplied by 100k records. So I
yeah.
have to go and extract this out of the file and then load it into a table. Or I have to write, you have to make it multiple parts of JSON, or if you have one JSON, you have to read and extract it piece by piece and then use it. Rather than when you're trying to load it into a table, you have to extract the
Yeah.
lines first and then load it into a table.
Okay.
You have to break it apart.
Break it. Okay.
Okay, so there are some limitations in every technology, right? This is one thing from SnowSQL. You have to go around it. You have to beat around the bush and try to extract the data and load it.
Okay.
There are some
Okay.
performance techniques. I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you of how you want to generate a file which is about 1 GB or 5 GB, and then whenever you're trying to load the data, right? How can you load the data? How can you tell that this entire thing is one particular row? And your JSON file might be about 1 GB, but the row might be less than 16 GB, 16 MB. You might have 10
Yeah.
million records of each 10 MB that will have your file of size 5 GB. You can still load a file of 5 GB, but when you're trying to extract, you have to extract in less than 16 MBs kind of thing. How do we do that? I'll show you that.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. So let's connect back. Bhaskar, I know it's difficult for you, plus I want you to help us out. Please be accommodative for this particular batch. So Srihar is also requesting. It's too late for him. Um,
Okay.
all the other folks, please. Okay. Okay then. So we are gonna connect back at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
sure.
shall I publish this at the same 7:35? So let's make this as the timings for our batch. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay then. Thank you guys. Let's catch up in the evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And Shekhar,
Hmm.
yeah, actually, officially, this is the first class for me.
I know,
And
Vikram. I was thinking of talking to you, but this thing is entirely different. The topic is different. So we are trying to talk about semi-structured data. But whenever you see that copy command, put command, that would have
Mhm.
confused you. But the writing of the SQL and trying to extract JSON, you are able to follow, right?
Actually, I am working in the Snowflake project already. I was able to understand the things easily. The put command, I was already doing it.
Then
So it is
I'm
easy
very
only.
happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But I do
the way you
have
are
all
teaching,
the. Mhm,
yeah. The way you are teaching, I am able to grasp each and every point
mhm,
and completing all the things. And as today is my first class, now whatever I have missed last 2 weeks classes,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So I have gone through videos, but I can't complete it because it's lengthy, and I think I can
Yeah,
join
yeah,
for those classes in the next batch as well.
yeah.
So I have some few doubts,
Sure, sure. Go
Shekhar.
ahead, go ahead. Ask me, please.
Yeah, actually, like materials, no, that I need to have the materials, no. So are we providing the materials, no, for this?
Yeah, yeah. You mean the
And which one?
EMP? Yeah, I have sent all the materials in the WhatsApp group. Are you not part of the WhatsApp group?
No, no, I am not part of it. Can you please add me also?
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell Sindhu to add you, and then we'll
Okay.
send out the entire. So, whatever the class exercise and the slide decks, right? We'll send it out. So, for example, if you're trying to load EMP, then I'll give you
Mm-hmm.
EMP.csv, EMP.text for creating your employee tables, and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. We do send out in the WhatsApp group because you joined it late, right? Then I'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
Sindhu to add you to this group and we'll send out the entire stuff to you again.
Yeah, please. And I will start my practicing today.
Sure, definitely. We'll
Uh,
send it out within half an hour or so. I'll ask Sindhu to add you and then send out the content to you.
yeah, please. Yeah. Thank you, Shekhar.
Okay, thank you, Vikram.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Right, guys. Thank you. Let's catch up in the evening. Okay?
Okay. 5 o'clock, right? Evening.
5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock. Yeah.